Hi, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
And I'm Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
And together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course.
Today, Brad, we're going to talk about the double crush syndrome.
Double crush syndrome.
And
so
this is for you folks out there that may have carpal tunnel syndrome. And having some weakness, numbness, pain in the hands. And this is going to show you possibly one of the causes or something that may actually contribute to it and how to treat that. And I've actually had some luck with this, sometimes taking away the carpal tunnel syndrome pain by treating the double crush syndrome.
So double crush. What's one crush and what's the other one?
All right, well, let's go over that. All right, let's we need to discuss just a little anatomy, Brad. Can you see this, by the way? Is there a glare from the...
A little bit of a
You want to
glare.
go like this? Does that better?
Yep.
Okay. All right, Brad and I like to use this this poster quite often because what it shows here, we obviously have the person here and we have the spine, and coming off the spine you can see the nerves. Can you see the yellow nerves, Nancy?
Yep.
Zoom right in on there, Ken. But yeah, there's quite a few in that they bundle up into the brachial plexus, they call that.
Right.
It actually goes right through your neck, under the clavicle.
Right. And even through the pectoralis a little bit, and then into the arm.
Right in your armpit, you call it that, and then it branches out as it goes through the arm. But there is quite a bundle there for one point. So
the point with carpal tunnel, which at its very basic understanding of it, is you're getting pressure on one of those nerves that are coming out, the medium nerve. And the problem is at the wrist, it goes underneath a band, which we call the transverse carpal ligament. We did come up with the name, right?
Right.
And it goes underneath that band, and there's pressure on the nerve from that band. There's a little tunnel it goes through, and there's...
But I think a lot of people aren't even aware of the whole term carpal tunnel. There's carpal bones,
Right.
and they create actually kind of
a little tunnel.
like a half pipe.
And then with the ligament, it makes a full tunnel.
Right, yeah, we don't have that diagram here, but it's right here. Right in here is where that ligament goes, and underneath there, there's a groove where 8 tendons go through, plus the median nerve.
Wow.
And that median nerve actually starts up here. It's one of these, and it branches
I'm
down.
impressed at your knowledge, Brett.
Wow.
But yeah, so there's pressure on the nerve here. With the double crush syndrome,
So that would be one crush.
that's one crush. But what the double crush is saying that there's somewhere else, there's some pressure on the nerve, and that's making that nerve sensitive so that when it gets crushed here again, it can cause even more problems.
Kinda
It's like
amplifies it.
it's like a radio signal, or no, a telephone signal would probably be better, like a telephone wire. If you were, this is a wire sending a signal down to your hand. If you crunch on the wire up here, the signal's going to be lessened.
Get a bad connection here, yeah.
Right. It's going to be lessened. Then by the time you get down here, you crush it again. Now you have no signal at all. And when you have no signal at all, when it goes to your hand, you're going to get numbness, or you can get pain, or you're going to get weakness. And some of that you're going to feel at night. I mean, that's where a lot of people describe it. They feel it, and it's hard to sleep. So what we're going to talk about is how. There's not a lot we can do down here besides trying to keep the pressure off the nerve.
Keep it in neutral position.
Neutral position, which is right here instead of going like this or this. But what we can do is we can help try to take some of the stress off the areas that may be causing the crush up at the neck. One of them is, could we have the spine, by the way?
Oh, yes.
Brad, you want to grab it?
Whoa, here we go. All right.
One of the places where you can get a crush is right coming out of the neck itself. So these are the nerves here that are extending way down into the arm. And as you can see, they come out through little holes here.
They're called foramen.
Foramen. Now there's two ways you can get pinched in the neck. One, the disc itself can herniate and push on the nerve. And the other way is that the bones around here, as you get older, can actually start to narrow up that hole from arthritis.
Right.
And so that's two ways where you can get pinching on the nerve here. So when we're going to show you an exercise that sometimes can help open those up a little bit, or actually even treat the disc problem.
Right.
The other thing, which is I think a little bit less defined, and they're not so sure that it really does cause issues, but as the nerves come down and go through, underneath the clavicle and stuff like that, if you've got poor posture like this, you can increase the pressure on those nerves.
Just from muscle contraction.
Just from muscle contraction, even maybe even the clavicle, you know,
Right.
pushing down on
Some
that.
mechanical means.
Right, so this whole position can create more stress on all the nerves that are coming out of your neck. So we're gonna work on ways to keep all this all open and stretched out.
And even if it doesn't take care of that, you're gonna be able to breathe better, it takes
Right,
pressure.
there's nothing negative about this.
Exactly.
These are all good things that are gonna help you, even if they don't help your carpal tunnel.
Right.
Brad, do you wanna do the one on the neck? You know, like maybe some chin tucks and
Sure.
extension? You wanna grab it?
Yeah, oh. Go ahead. All right, this is one, again, you're gonna avoid to start this, you're gonna work on your posture anyways, get your bottom back, shoulders back, and I'll get profile up here because I think.
Yeah,
it
we're
shows
trying to
better.
open up this whole area here.
Right,
We're trying
so
to-
it's a simple chin tuck.
Yep,
And I just had someone about 3 weeks ago, she was a teacher, she did a lot of work on the computer, and she had this problem for about a year or so. And she had seen a chiropractor and she was having no help, and so I did this with her, and her arms started to feel better.
it's crazy.
So I had her do
sometimes.
chin tucks like this, you don't have to push in, and literally, the next time she come in, she was smiling. I knew right away it was working well, because when there are people smiling, walking the door, they're feeling
Yeah,
good.
things are going better.
And you want to go into the full extension?
Yeah, go ahead and do some extension.
Have a backrest here that comes about at the shoulder blades, not too high, and you'll see why. You'll start out with your chin tuck and just gently go back like this. And hold it back here just for a second or so. If this starts to create pain or anything like of that nature, it's not for you.
Right.
There's other issues involved. It should feel like a good stretch, and you should just do it relaxed. And you do that 2 or 3 times while you're working at the computer, and that's fine.
And that theory, that's giving some more room for the nerves to come out and less pressure
Right.
on the nerves.
Yeah.
Another one we're gonna do is just a chest stretch. It's hard to say, chest stretch. So you got your pectoralis stretch. So one way to do it is in a doorway.
Sure.
Can we open the door? So you can put both hands up like this and just lean forward into it. I'm talking out to an empty hallway. And also we can put hands like this and stretch forward. You'll feel these, if they're tight.
Yeah, you'll feel the stretch across that front of the shoulder. It should feel like a good stretch. Those typically people.
And the one that Brad famously can't do is putting your arms back like this and reaching back like this. This also stretches.
Yeah, I'm not. So I can tell you. Yeah, I can kind of do it.
He's too muscular bound. So that opens up everything up here, you know, besides putting it in the good posture. You may even want to stretch the forearms a little bit. And Brad, you always do those with, you take the wrist and you kind of turn out like that, right?
Down and rotate.
out.
Get a little stretch in those extensor muscles on the top of the wrist.
That may seem a little strange because you're actually putting a little more pressure at the wrist, but
Right.
it's brief, and you're loosening up the muscles of the forearm.
Sure.
And you actually could even do this one too, where you actually grab underneath the fingers here, grab the hand and pull back like this, and that stretches some of the muscles here too, where the nerves are going through.
Any more on this?
No, I think that's,
There's one, I was just talking to a surgeon that works primarily on the wrist, and he says one of the best things you can do if you have carpal tunnel syndromes, you don't have to see the doctor about, just go to the drugstore and get a wrist splint and wear it at night.
right.
At night, not, it's more important to wear it at night than oftentimes at work when you're working. You want to
Exactly.
keep it in a neutral position so you have good circulation all night long, you don't end up
I know a lot of people that do sleep like that. The other thing I mention to people at night is you really want to keep your arms somewhat at a good position, an open position like this. If you sleep on your back, I actually have them put a pillow underneath your arm like this, because I don't want it down like this. This, again, kind of opens everything up and lets the nerves flow through. If you sleep on your side, I have them hug a pillow, put a couple pillows, because I don't want it, again, you're crunching everything up here. Let it all open up here, and sometimes that alone helps decrease symptoms. And you have to work on it, obviously, to figure out which position, but you have to give it a little try for a while, because just for the fact that it doesn't help immediately doesn't mean it's not going to help.
Sure.
Because these nerves, once they're pinched and hurting, it takes a while for them to calm down.
Yeah.
I had an instructor one time that used the analogy, if you keep biting your tongue, bite your tongue, even when you stop biting, it's still gonna hurt.
Right.
But eventually, if you stop biting it, it's gonna stop hurting, but
That's
eventually.
interesting. Have you tried that?
Biting my tongue?
Yeah.
I do a lot of times, but I want to say things about you, Brad. All right, anything else, Brad?
No, I think we covered that quite
All right,
well.
peace.